I wake up every morning at 6:30 not because I want to but because my alarm screams until I slap it into silence. The apartment is small, 2 rooms, kitchen smells faintly of last night's reheated dinner. I work at a hardware store, been there for 11 years, same counter, same fluorescent lights, same small talk with customers who ask for nail screws and paint. Sometimes I think I could do it blindfolded. My boss is decent, pays on time, doesn't ask much, and that's fine by me. Life is simple. Predictable, quiet, except for the evenings. That's when things shift, when the sun goes down and the city lights up. That's when I feel the pull like gravity. There's a small casino downtown, red neon sign flashing 24 hours a day. I told myself the first time it was just to look around, just for the noise, the lights, the people. But it didn't stay that way. I still remember the first spin of the roulette wheel, the click of the ball bouncing around the edge, the sound it made when it dropped into my number, that feeling like I'd won against the universe. It hooked me right there. I started going once a week, then twice. Now I'm there almost every night. After work, I grab a cheap sandwich and walk to the casino. It's only 15 minutes from my place. Sometimes I tell myself I'll just watch a few hands of blackjack. But the moment I hear the sound of coins and laughter, I sit down. I tell myself $50, that's it. But 50 becomes 100. 100 becomes whatever's left in my wallet. I know how it looks. I'm not stupid. I tell myself I can quit anytime, and maybe that's true, but I never do. Some nights I win, and it feels like the world bends in my favor, like everything finally makes sense. I buy a drink, tip the dealer, feel alive again. But most nights I lose and walk home under the same streetlights, counting the cash I don't have anymore. The next morning, I put on the same uniform, smile at customers, and pretend everything's fine. My coworker Jack always jokes that I must have some exciting life outside work. I laugh and tell him I just watch TV. He doesn't need to know the truth. One Friday night, I met a woman there. Her name was Lisa. She played the slots alone, wore a red coat, and smiled like she'd been smiling too long, just to hide something. We talked. She told me she worked in an office, hated it, came here to forget. I told her I came for the same reason. We started meeting there, sometimes not planned, just ended up at the same table. I liked her. She was funny, sharp, sometimes sad. She told me she once lost half her savings on a bad streak, but still came back. I asked her why. She said, because winning feels better than anything else, and losing reminds me I'm still alive. I understood that too well. We never saw each other outside the casino. It was like we existed only there under that artificial light, two ghosts chasing something invisible. One night, she didn't show up. I waited longer than I should have. Lost $200. Walked home empty and quiet. After that, it wasn't the same. The casino felt colder, the laughter sharper. I still went, of course. I always went. One evening, I looked at my reflection in the glass door. Before entering, I didn't like what I saw. Tired eyes, skin pale from bad sleep, shoulders heavy like I was dragging something behind me. Inside, I sat at my usual table. The dealer nodded. Same routine. I placed my bet small at first, then larger, trying to chase something that never comes. At some point, I stopped hearing the noise around me. It was just me and the cards, time slipping away. When I finally looked at my phone, it was almost 3 in the morning. I'd lost more than I could afford, rent money gone. I walked home slowly, the city quiet, except for the hum of distant cars. When I reached my building, I sat on the steps, staring at my hands. They were shaking. I thought about calling Lisa, but I didn't even know her last name. The next morning, I went to work, acted normal, helped customers, loaded boxes, smiled when they joked about weekend plans. Inside, I felt hollow. That night, I didn't go to the casino. I told myself I needed a break, but around 9:30, I started pacing the apartment, turned on the TV, turned it off, made coffee, poured it out. I couldn't sit still. At 10:15, I grabbed my jacket and left. It wasn't even a choice. It was like breathing. The moment I stepped inside, the noise hit me, the smell of smoke and perfume, the flashing lights. It felt like home and prison at once. I sat down, told myself just one hand of blackjack, but we both know how that ends. I played till dawn. The sun was rising. When I left, pockets empty, head buzzing. I passed a bakery, smelled fresh bread, thought about breakfast. Then realized I had $3 left. That day at work, I was slower. My boss noticed, asked if I was okay. I said, just tired. He nodded, said to take care that evening. I didn't even wait. I went straight back, lost again. I started borrowing money, small amounts from coworkers, friends. Excuses, like car repair, phone bill. It added up quick. One night, I finally won big, $5,000. I couldn't believe it. I felt electric, unstoppable. I swore I'd quit after that. But of course I didn't. I told myself I'd use it to pay debts. Then just one more game to celebrate. By morning, it was all gone. Every dollar. The dealer looked at me like he'd seen it 100 times, maybe. Yet I walked home in the rain, shoes soaked, pockets empty, laughter echoing from behind me. It's strange how quiet the world feels after a night like that. Like Everything's holding its breath the next day. I didn't go to work. I just sat at home, lights off, staring at the ceiling, thinking about every choice that led here. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Lisa. She said she was moving to another city, wanted to say goodbye. I stared at it for a long time, didn't reply. What could I say? I went back to work the next morning. No one noticed anything different. I smiled, did my job, said good morning, handed out receipts. When my shift ended, I stood outside the store thinking about the casino, the lights, the noise, and for the first time in months, I didn't go. Maybe tomorrow. I thought maybe never. I walked home, the city, quiet, the air cold, pockets empty. But for once my head felt clear. I don't know if I'll quit. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But for that one night, I didn't chase the wheel. And that felt like winning.